great to be able to have you with us today.
Indeed.
Awesome to be able to take you out on a special drive. I remember you ended up back in the church back in like 2011.
Yep.
I think that you were invited by maybe the Acklers.
Yes, indeed. So I actually went to high school with Heather Ackler.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
It's a small world.
Small world.
Yeah, very
Indeed.
much so. I think one of my first Sundays, I remember you actually working on the mobility team. Was that like your first place that you got set in?
Yeah, that was definitely the first place you plug a lot of volunteers in a mobile church.
Absolutely.
It's like, let's get to work.
I'm hoping here before too long we'll actually cancel that minute.
Won't that be an awesome day?
It's awesome. Well,
looking forward to it.
Since then, I mean, back in 2015, you got married, and I felt privileged enough to do you guys' wedding, you and Caitlin.
It was awesome. Awesome day.
Yeah, beautiful day, beautiful bride.
Yep,
for sure. And
I don't know how I lucked out, but I guess every husband says that.
You must have worked something pretty well, so that's good. And through the years, you've served in a number of capacities in the church. You've been on some mission trip stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And try to name off some of the things that you've been involved with in the church.
Yeah, let's think about this. So, mission trips. I know we've been to Panama, Mexico. Great opportunities there. Mobility team for basically since I started going to the church. So, everybody gets through the mobility team rotation. Running the hospitality team and serving coffee, and now let's see at the hub doing the same thing, keeping the
coffee flowing.
Coffee flowing.
That is awesome. Yeah. I was with my daughter earlier today, and she gave you a great compliment. But it's kind of temporary. She said,
"Let's see what this is going to be."
She said, "Jordan Wisdom gave me some of the best advice about how to ask for a raise."
Oh yeah.
But I totally forgot what he said, and so I need to go back and I need to talk to him about it, which is pretty crazy. If you think about it.
Gosh, I'm going to have to remember exactly which way I told her to.
Yeah.
But, it's about something about like maybe dollar figures shock people.
Sure.
Or an hourly dollar. This is what I told her. I said an hourly dollar figure shocks people, but an annual salary number doesn't.
Oh, yes.
Especially when you're talking to a business owner who gets paid on an annual basis. Right?
That is a great
shift the conversation. That's what I told
super
her.
Cool. Well, one other thing you've been involved with in the church here lately, tell me a little bit about it. You've joined, maybe reluctantly at first, maybe you didn't even know there was a team.
I didn't know there was a team.
Our speaking team.
I also didn't know. It would turn into multiple weeks.
Yeah. How is that? Maybe walk us through a little bit, like how that's been for you, because I think for a lot of people, they can't imagine themselves getting up in front of a crowd. It's like one of the biggest phobias that people have. Oh yeah,
totally.
And yet, it's one of the most, one of the greatest opportunities to be able to bring truth to people that actually moves them forward. So tell me a little bit about your experience with being on the speaking team.
Well, I would say that the first Sunday you asked me to give share a giving message was pretty stressful. Pretty dang stressful, because you want to say the right things, you want to be authentic, you want it to all come across just right, you kind of want it to be like a TED Talk, something that people can really latch onto.
Wow.
No. Yeah. No, you want it to be good, right? So it's like you want to succeed at what you're asked to do, and that was pretty stressful.
Nice.
And then you gave me a couple months off. That was awesome.
Well, it was when you passed out and we had to call the EMTs.
Yeah,
to resuscitate you. I was
that
like,
was
that really didn't. Giving was down that week.
Yeah. So let's rewind and think about that one again. No, but then I've done it a couple times since then, and I would say every time since it's gotten a little bit easier, but I wouldn't say it's not stressful.
Sure.
Because you still want to prepare, you still want to do your best. But I think that maybe the internal pressure I put on myself I lifted it off a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. And everything you've shared has been good. The good thing is that you're sharing out of who you are. You know, you and your wife are very generous people anyways. And so I think that that's one of the challenging parts to convey, like from myself to our other speakers, is that it's a little less about what you specifically say and a little bit more about who you are. That's how we choose people to be on that team. But naturally, they have to be able to communicate. But I remember that being really stressful for you that Sunday, and that although you did a great job, but wanting you to stay engaged with it, because you know I just think the world of you and your wife.
Well,
and
thank you.
I did warn her that she's up, and she basically
she told me.
I think she canceled her membership at the church.
She's like, I'll be back in June.
I heard from the pharmacy that she has scheduled herself for every
Sunday now going forward,
which is pretty cool. So, anyhow, tell me a few maybe factoids about Jordan wisdom that maybe not everyone knows.
Let's see here. Something unique. Okay, I was adopted at 4 days old.
Wow.
That's a factoid.
4? Wow, okay.
My wife was also adopted. So
Wow.
it's kind of a fun little
yeah.
part of our story. So not from Vancouver. Moved to Vancouver in like 2011, 2012. Grew up in Longview.
Oh. Pray, people.
It's
Pray.
you know, still work in Longview. My parents were in ministry, so grew up like in the church.
Wow.
In kind of that, with that sense of community. So really lucky to have that. But yeah, so kind of grew up in the ministry world a little bit.
You've seen behind
more than a little
You've
bit.
seen
I've
behind
seen
the
behind
curtain.
the curtain.
So you're basically my kids.
Yeah, PKs. PKs.
And you know, sometimes that's a great experience. Sometimes it's challenging. What I love
or
about
all
it,
the above.
Yeah, it can be a mixed bag. Usually, I'll say this for my kids because of their parents or parent.
Yeah.
In this case, but
so you're talking about Rowena?
No,
being the great parent, right?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. But it's cool to see you navigate through life and end up playing a key role in the church. It's the cycle stays intact, although it's tested.
Yes.
And I love
definitely
that.
Tested.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's good redemption.
Yeah, and well, that's what makes your involvement in church strong, because it's been tested, right?
Yeah.
So now, you lived outside of the country for a while? Didn't
Yeah.
you?
I went to university in Germany.
Oh, everybody does.
Everyone,
that.
Who doesn't graduate high school and say, "Hey, mom and dad, I'm moving away for a while."
I had kielbasa when I was in college one time.
Not German.
Is that not German? Sauerkraut?
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
How many countries have you been to in your life?
Well, that is not a secret. I don't think I need to share that my wife and I love to travel.
Right.
Higher than 35,
No!
less than 40.
No!
But Canada is like a bonus, right? Like that gets dropped in there too, so that counts.
Well, that's a country.
So that gives you one extra tally
United
mark.
That's a country.
Yeah, but that's
You gotta
not
count
included.
it. You have to count it. Yes.
Count where you live.
How many countries have you been to? You've never been to the United States?
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay,
I
so
lived there.
you count it.
I haven't left.
Yeah,
I
you
leave
count
there
it.
to go somewhere.
Listen, I count it. I've
Okay.
been to 2 or 3 countries now in my lifetime, and
that's pretty good.
That's part of my count.
Okay.
I also
You've been to 2 countries in the U.S. as part of your count. Well done.
Well, if you've ever been to the South, it's a completely different country.
That is a different
and
country.
I have been to Texas.
So let's make that like 45.
What's your favorite all-time movie?
Oh, those Jason Bourne movies.
Oh, yes.
Right? The first 3.
Oh, yeah.
First 3.
Well,
fantastic.
there's like 3 more after that, but yeah, the first 3 were awesome. The fight scenes.
In the chase scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And all the scenes.
Yeah.
The Swiss bank account scenes. I mean, come on. It's just like espionage.
Yeah.
101.
Most embarrassing moment in life.
Oh, this is good. Lost the rental car in the parking garage with my boss. Couldn't find the rental car.
And were you in charge of driving your boss?
Yes. And we were just like circling up and down the parking garage, but there were 2 entrances and they skipped floors and we were in the wrong one.
I've done that, actually.
Yeah, not good. But to top it off, I definitely ran a red light like directly after that with my boss in the car.
Weirdest food fact.
What do you mean by weirdest food fact?
Like some people have to put hot sauce on everything, or they're allergic to cat meat, or something. That'll get me in trouble, I'm sure. Send in emails now.
Hey, try to lay off the cat meat for a while. Peas.
What's the deal?
I don't know. I swear I'm allergic to them.
Really?
Yes.
That's it. Listen,
but I think
as a kid,
it might just give me indigestion. I don't know. But it's basically the only thing I won't eat.
That is funny.
Peas.
Favorite Bible character?
Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
Jesus counts.
All right.
That's up there.
Yeah.
But no. Okay.
You get your gold star.
So 12 men went to spy on Canaan.
Oh.
So I'm gonna say like Caleb or Joshua.
Yes.
Because they are not. They like inspire me to be my better self.
Not complain.
Because sometimes, it's hard to. Maybe it's hard to believe the promise. Yeah. And it's easier to believe the emotion.
Yeah, it's easy to be a realist and weigh everything out and be like, well, let's be practical.
Like a little overkill. So, that can tone me down a bit.
Great stuff. What's the most annoying thing to you in the entire world?
Sand.
What?
I hate sand.
Yeah, but you go to the beach.
Oh.
A ton.
Amazing beaches. Do not like the sand.
Really?
The best beach has rocks.
Oh.
Not kidding. It doesn't come home with you.
That's fascinating.
It just stays on the beach.
Well, you could bring some rocks home.
And then you get home, there's no sand under your feet. It's just clean.
Okay, favorite moment at C3 Church in the entirety of your experience?
Oh my goodness.
Besides this moment.
I'm going to have to say one of just those first services being at the hub kind of like
really?
3, 4, 5 months ago.
Really?
Which is seems like counterintuitive, but I don't know. That was cool. After the whole cultural progression of the previous 8-9 months.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool because it was our space.
Yeah,
it was our space with our people.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't know.
Pretty fascinating that would be your choice. I would have to say
up there.
Yeah, that would be up there for me too. That's incredible. Well, let's talk a little bit about a big change in career that you've had in the last couple of years. I know that you were manager. Tell me what you were when you worked up north for the paper company.
Yeah, so for basically my whole career, I was the craft paper marketing manager for an international paper company.
Right.
So we sold our paper all around the globe.
So and you traveled quite a bit for that.
All
correct?
The time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And I remember there coming a point where you went back to school. You had your first degree was in
international business.
Okay, and then you
went back to school and did a post-bac in economics.
Okay.
Yeah. And
that was during the time that you were considering making a change with work, right?
Yep.
So now you are the chief operating officer.
Yeah.
Officer, people.
Yes, sir. Sounds more exciting.
The COO for a.
So we're a regional behavioral health agency type clinic. So healthcare.
Okay,
so helping people with mental health, substance use disorders, stuff like that.
It's very, very similar to paper, and I can see how you would slide out of one.
It was the smoothest transition. I didn't have to learn a thing.
So tell me why you made that transition. Did you? Because you were pretty set in your career, and you're upwardly mobile and traveling and all that kind of thing. But you made a major, major change, and a lot of people don't do that.
No.
Why? Why'd you make the change? Why did you?
I ask myself this often. No, I'm kidding. It was something that was on my heart for a while to make a change.
Okay.
And
did you not like your job?
I enjoyed many aspects. I enjoyed many aspects of it. I liked it. It was good. People were good. I was traveling too much.
Okay.
I was letting myself get too stressed out over it's paper, people. Like, we make paper. This is not a big deal.
What if the paper's not white enough?
Just like, yeah.
What if it doesn't crumple? It doesn't
just,
have the,
doesn't
that
turn
crumple
into
sound.
the box right. Anyways, so kind of found myself with an opportunity to reconnect with an old family friend that runs basically a healthcare operation up in Longview and Chehalis, and they were just going through really dramatic change and rapid growth, and I just got the opportunity to join the team, not knowing what I would be doing, but to join the team and just help start implementing some process changes and just looking for ways to improve and kind of just help manage that next stage of growth.
Sure. So what was the scariest thing about making a major change like that in career?
Oh, man. I definitely questioned it after I gave in my 2 weeks notice. I was like, why am I doing this? I think the scariest thing is just being confident that, like, what you've learned and experienced over the last 9-10 years is going to be transferable.
Sure.
Even if it's not like I didn't know the specifics of this new industry, essentially. But I knew, like, the foundational building blocks for, like, how to make things happen, how to run a project, how to implement change, how to communicate, stuff like that. Right. So, like, the scariest thing was like, how am I going to absorb what I need to absorb in the amount of time?
Right.
But that's not what it was all about necessarily.
Right. I think it's a lot of times people are afraid to make a change because they think this is the only thing I know how to do.
Yes.
When it has less to do with how to do anything, has more to do with who you are and the skills that you have.
Right.
And your skills are transferable. You could change industries, and you've discovered that. So that's got to be
So
that's got to be a great feeling.
Awesome learning moment for me is to, like, prove to myself that I could make a change and still succeed after doing so, and, like, my identity is not tied up in a company or in a job or in a career title, but it's tied up in, well,
it's you.
Yeah.
Your identity. Newsflash, Jordan has discovered his identity is in himself.
My identity is in Christ.
Okay,
Steve.
There's a spiritual answer.
There we go.
I would have gotten
this
there.
Is Pastor Carpool.
Yeah, he's on the speaking team. Can you...
Come on.
He's totally
people.
dialed in and ready to go. So what would you say to somebody who's maybe, not that this was you, but are absolutely miserable in what they do, but maybe they're really good at it, but they're just miserable. But they feel stuck and they're afraid to maybe go out and make a change. What would your encouragement be to them?
Definitely, like, so this will be the super Christian answer, but it's like seek what...
I'm a Christian, so it's gonna...
seek God's will in the situation first, and, like, discern if it's his desire for you also to, like, move on and make that move, right? And so once I got to that point where it was like, this is what I need to do, and I have that, like, confidence that that's where I was being called.
Right.
Even in a secular sense, but, like, being called out of one thing and into something new.
Sure.
Then there's more it's like, that's something you can hang your hat on.
Yeah, very cool. I think that's good. I think sometimes people will think they need to make a change just because they're miserable, but they find out that you can be miserable any place.
Yes.
If you adjust maybe what you're miserable about, you'll be able to stay right where you're at. But it could be that maybe you do need to make a change, and so part of navigating that, what does God want me to do, really is trying to identify that it's not just an internal thing, but you're a square peg in maybe a round hole, which makes great for a change. Well, awesome stuff. Any last thoughts you want to share with everybody before we sign off here?
Last thoughts. get out there and enjoy the weather.
It is a sunny day.
It's a beautiful day
this
out.
Is great. I feel like God loves me,
I'm just
especially today because of the sun.
Spring is on the way.
Yeah, I did some lawn work yesterday and got the tractor
very
out,
good.
And
Yep.
dug some holes, and just because I'm a man,
And it's time.
it's time to dig holes.
It's that time of
I
year.
had a few bodies to bury, so there was that too. So.
Clean up your mess.
Oh, anyhow. Well, Jordan, it's been great hanging out with you.
You too.
We want to say thank you to you and your wife for the key roles that
Appreciate
you both
that.
play. And we're excited about good things ahead for our church family.
Yeah, looking forward.
Lots of good things on its way. So
Yeah.
until next time, this is Steve Parrish with Jordan Wisdom signing off from Pastor Carpool, or I keep accidentally saying it wrong. Carpool Pastor, whatever we're doing here. But we'll see you next time. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. Peace out.